Emir is a set of regulations that have been created by the European Securities and Markets Authority that really focus on three areas. There's regulatory reporting, there's effectively central counterparty clearing, and there's the collateralisation of those. Now, the directive as a whole has been set to introduce control, transparency and mitigate risk. As we're aware, there have been a number of issues in the last 2 to 3 years within the industry, and this is a very clear directive to resolve those. The area that we're going to focus on today is around the actual reporting of OTC derivative transactions.
Currently, MiFID is covering a number of asset classes, and those asset classes slightly overlap with Emir, but there's a distinction between the two. So it means that there's additional asset classes in Emir that are going to have to be reported, and this means that there's basically another burden on financial organisations because they'll have to continue reporting select data for MiFID and a different set of data that might overlap somewhat for Emir.
Emir is going to affect financial organisations in a very, very interesting way, whereas transaction reporting, for example, with MiFID was a case of just reporting individual transactions and a series of data items on that. Most of those data items would have been in your trading repositories anyway. So most people were trading in certain asset classes, will have certain solutions, programs or applications for those trading systems. The data items they require were provided. With Emir, all of a sudden you're requiring a much, much larger set of data items. And some of those data items may need to be provided by roles or departments that previously haven't been involved in reporting. For example, legal will now need to be involved, a front office may now need to be involved. So the reach within the organisation is much, much greater than it previously was. Emir timescales were ratified back in August of 2012, this year. And it's intended to come in for all 27 EU states on the 1st of July 2013.
Problems with Emir implementation are numerous. Again, focusing on the reporting side, organisations that have never had to do this before have to think about what is their strategy, what is their best approach. Organisations that currently have infrastructure in place to do certain other types of reporting will potentially find that it's no longer fit for purpose. I think the smart organisations will actually focus on some kind of utility that will sit across silo, which will allow them to take the appropriate data and then publish that out to a trade repository if it's related to Emir, to an appointed reporting mechanism if it's MiFID or transaction reporting. They'll benefit because they'll get consistency of data. They won't end up working in a siloed based way, and any new requirements should be much easier to provide that data much quickly if they take that approach.